Okay, welcome to course 3. So this course will talk about order to cash or your sales and distribution, and it will include business processes, organizational structures, and we'll finish it up with master data within order to cash. Order to cash, we often refer to it as sales and distribution as well. So this lecture, we're going to cover order to cash process overview. So on the order to cash module, we have 8 different steps or processes that must be done within the module. And often we call this order to cash because it starts with a sales order all the way to payment processing, hence receiving your cash. So it starts from order all the way to cash. In order to make the order to cash process effective, you have to be able to connect all the related activities to the customer by using series of different processes and integrate them together. And the application component within SAP is called sales and distribution. And that's the particular module that helps you achieve that effective processing. And then when you go through all these different steps, in the background, the SAP is running and integrating all these processes together and creating documents for later use as well. And all these documents are linked to each other, so that way you can run your analytics or you can go back and find out your customer information, order information, or any information within the sales and distribution side by looking at any of the documents because they are linked to each other. And most of the time it starts with sales and order, but we have to realize before the process even begins, there's always a pre-sales activity, whether it is a quotation or inquiry sent in by your customer or some sort of a customer contact you had before, or pre-sales calls or cold calling or whatever it might have been. There's some sort of a pre-sales activity that could have happened before sales order, even though it's not considered as a main part of the processes, 8 different processes. There is a such thing called sales or pre-sales activity. So we can take a quotation or request for a quotation from one of your customers, and we can actually tie that to your sales order. So one good thing about having linked document is that you could be in different modules or you could be looking at different documents within the SAP software. And because they're linked, you could click on any of the links and be able to jump from different documents, whether it's sales order or quotation or inquiry, which makes it a lot more convenient for the user. So just realize there are other steps that could be involved outside of these 8 steps, but these are the 8 core steps that are involved in order to cash business processes. So we start out with creating sales order, then we move on to checking to see if it's the product or service is available, and then outbound delivery document is created. Then warehouse will pick and pack it, and once it's picked and packed in the warehouse, then we can post goods issue, and it will be sent off through transportation. Once we know the goods issue and we have sent it off, then we could send a billing or invoice to the customer. Once the customer sends in the payment, then we can process that payment, whether it's in the form of check, electronic, or whatever the form it may be. So again, it goes from sales order all the way to payment processing, and that is from beginning to an end of order to cash business processes. So for next several videos, we'll go through each individual processes that are involved within order to cash, and we'll start out the next video with creating sales order.